A to Z Mysteries, Super Edition 2, Mayflower Treasure Hunt by Ron Roy. Chapter 8. Josh shook his head. Clint is a woman? He asked. No, but he was dressed as one when he followed us yesterday, Dink said. Clint knew about the jewels. He knew we suspected that drawing was a map, and he knew we were headed for Provincetown on the ferry. So he disguised himself as an old woman? Ruth Rose asked. Dink nodded. Yes, so we wouldn't know it was him following us. What tipped you off? Josh asked. He talked about the Governor Bradford Hotel a minute ago, Dink answered. The woman who was here yesterday didn't know we were staying there. Only Clint knew because we told him. So that was Clint waiting for us last night in the lobby? Josh asked. Dink nodded. He knew we'd go there when we got off the ferry, he said. So he went there hoping to steal the necklace from us. He told us he's an actor, so he could have gotten that costume pretty easily, Ruth Rose said. Another thing, Dink went on. He was missing his mints, right? Well, I'll bet you $1,000,000 I know where he lost them. Josh and Ruth Rose just stared at Dink. Clint's mints are on the deck of the hold, next to that pile of mattresses, Dink said. I heard something fall last night when he threw down the rope ladder. Josh peeked around the corner. He's still talking to those people, he said. What do we do now? We call those cops back, Dink said. We'll tell them I can prove Clint tried to steal the necklace. Prove it how? Josh asked. How do we prove he put on a dress and followed us? How do we prove he was the one who got Ruth Rose's fake necklace last night? Dink, it'll be his word against ours. But Clint's fingerprints will be on that basket he lowered down to us, Ruth Rose said. Right, and on his mints container, Dink added. Okay, his prints might be on those things, Josh said. But the cops won't arrest him just because we say we think he dressed like an old woman and followed us. We need to prove he was really trying to steal the necklace. I think I know how we can do that, Ruth Rose said. We'll trick him into trying to rob the necklace from my bedroom. It's not in your bedroom anymore, Dink said. My mom put it in the hotel safe, remember? Ruth Rose grinned. Yeah, we know that, but Clint doesn't. Dink shook his head. Ruth Rose, Clint could be dangerous, he said. We have to tell the cops about your plan. Okay, but let me put out the bait first, Ruth Rose said. Then the cops can spring the trap. The kids walked back into the museum's main room. They pretended to be looking at a painting, while Clint finished up with the other people. A few minutes later, Clint joined them. So, what brings you back to the museum? He asked. Ruth Rose looked at Dink and Josh. Should I tell Clint what we found yesterday? She asked. Dink didn't know what to say, so he nodded. Ruth Rose turned back to Clint. Keeping her voice low, she whispered, We found the Mayflower jewels. Clint just stood there, blinking. Then Ruth Rose told him how they went to Provincetown on the ferry and found the jewels. She also told Clint about the old woman who had made them give her the jewels. Ruth Rose laughed. But I gave her a fake necklace, she said, making her eyes big. I still have the real one. You do? Clint asked. Ruth Rose nodded smugly. Yep, but not on me. I have this teddy bear, the kind that has a zippered compartment for your pajamas. I hid the necklace inside it, she said. When that old woman figures out we gave her a worthless necklace, she'll come looking for the real one. But even if she searches all over room 202, she'll never find it. Clint licked his lips. Ruth Rose lowered her voice. And we're gonna sell it. Dink's mom called some jeweler, and he's coming at 1 o'clock to buy the necklace. Dink stared at Ruth Rose. This plan of hers was getting complicated. Yeah, Josh said. This jeweler guy told us the necklace is worth $1 million. It's all sapphires, man. Ruth Rose looked at Dink and Josh. You guys ready? Dink nodded. He was afraid to speak. His heart was beating so fast he was sure Clint could hear it if he opened his mouth. We're taking a taxi over to Plymouth Plantation, Ruth Rose said. We want to see how the Pilgrims lived after they got here. You'll enjoy that place, Clint said. What time does your taxi come? Dink looked at his watch. Yikes, right now, he said. The kids said goodbye to Clint, then raced back to their hotel. They ran up the stairs to room 202, the room Ruth Rose would share with her brother Nate. Old Clint took the bait, Josh crowed. Do you really think he'll come? Dink asked when they were locked behind Ruth Rose's door. Yep, Ruth Rose said. She placed her teddy bear in the middle of her bed. Now we can call the cops.